Live from our studios, just steps from the fabulous Las Vegas Strip, it's the Business Lounge with your host, David Wright.
Hi, thank you. I'm your host, David Wright, and welcome to the Business Lounge, where we talk to real people about real business and real success. With me today, I have Senora Colvin. Senora is an independent sales director for Mary Kay Cosmetics. Senora, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for asking me. I'm honored.
Great to have you. Tell me a little bit about Senora, so we get to know you a little more before we talk about your business.
Oh, okay. Well, I was raised in Washington State, was a military child, was an Army brat. And I have two wonderful grown children, two fur babies. I have been in Las Vegas for about 12 years now. And I just, I used to dance ballet jazz, which is funny because I'm 4'10". Most dancers are taller. But so that's, really a lot about me. I love people. I love working with people. I still love to dance, just don't do it quite as much.
Well, I found out something today that I didn't know about you. Now, you have a special event coming up.
Yes.
Right?
Getting married.
You're getting married in 2 months, right?
2 months, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, tell me a little bit about being an independent sales director for Mary Kay.
Okay, well, what I do, it's twofold. I help to empower women that are sitting, not just women, men also love skincare. So I teach skincare and cosmetic application and skincare for men, because when everyone needs to put what I call their best face forward. So, but when I'm sitting down with people, especially women, I empower them because there are a lot of women that don't take the time to make sure they're okay. Women give and give and give, right?
Absolutely.
And they don't take the time, many of them, because of our nurturing spirits, to make sure we look fine. And so when I'm sitting around the table with them, I'm giving them compliments. I'm teaching them how to take care of their skin on a regular basis. If they want to know color cosmetics or color application, I take the time to do that. And then I also mentor women in business to help them become successful entrepreneurs. And when I do that, it's the same thing, just taking the time to empower them, helping them to get unstuck and find their best self.
So help the audience understand a little more about the mentoring, because that's something I didn't know about you. Mm-hmm. What is your mentoring group like, or what do you talk about? What are some of the challenges that women are faced with, or just business people in general that you talk about?
Fear, self-esteem and fear. That's the main thing that we work with, because most people realize, especially after the recession, is that they want to be self-employed, but the game of entrepreneurship can be scary, right? So the problem is getting them to realize that whatever their core belief is, or whatever someone told them years ago, does not apply now, right? To help them get unstuck. And so that's basically what I do. And I think your question was, what do I do to do that? I ask a series of questions. I sit down and find out about them. Before I teach them to book, coach, sell, recruit, I want to know about them. I want to ask them questions. What's important in your life and for you? And what are you willing to do that? And then as we go through the journey and I see that they get stuck, then I sit down and ask them, okay, tell me a little bit about that. Explain to me what happened to you back when you were younger. Did someone say something to you? Those kind of questions. And more times than not, it's something that your mom said, your dad said, your great aunt Mammy said. You know what I'm saying? When you were 7 years old, and you still feel that you're not good enough.
Yeah, I always understood fear to be false evidence appearing real.
Exactly.
So when you think about that, that's really the truth, because it is what you have in your mind that really determines your outlook.
Yep.
And it reminded me of a little story, and I know this is a little side, but it was a story about a woman who was about ready to cook a ham for dinner. And what she would do is she would get all the fixings ready, and she would take and cut the ham in half and put it in the pot and then put it in the oven. And so the person asked her one day, well, why do you always cut the ham in half? And she said, it's because my grandmother did. And so those things that we don't think become habit forming for us are really some of the things that stand in our way.
They do.
Tell me a challenge that you're faced with in your business and how you overcame that challenge.
A lot was that the fear of, the fear of feeling that I wasn't good enough. I don't have a college degree. I had a child when I was very young in high school. And then I was married for 20 years and divorced. All of those things can make you feel as though you're not good, you're not good enough. You could never make it to directorship, earn the 3 cars, do those type of things. You know what I'm saying? So and then it also kept me from thinking I could talk to, or that a certain woman would want to speak to me. What can I teach her? Does that make sense? And so those are the kind of obstacles I had to overcome, was that, no, I am good enough. I do know what I'm talking about. No, I don't have a high school, I have a high school education, but no, I don't have a college education. But what I've learned out in this world and the way I work this business, I can help someone, even with a college education, succeed,
So what would be one key that you would tell somebody about success? How to achieve it, how to overcome that fear, or how to experience success and not get ahead of yourself.
Okay.
Just pick one of those 3.
I think how to achieve it is to always find someone in your field who is doing better than you, a little better than you. Find that mentor. Continue to have the positive people around you. What do they say? You're just as good as the 5 people you hang around, the 5 things you listen to, and the 5 books you read.
Or if you're the smartest person in the room, find a new room.
Find a new room, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you always want to, I would say to experience that success, to do that, and always try to find ways to work on yourself. Success is an inside job. It's not an outside job. Okay, so I believe that if you find a way to really be honest with yourself and figure out what issues do you have that's keeping you in a rut, right? What are your triggers, and how to reverse the cycle of that trigger? Does that make sense?
It does, absolutely.
So all of those things together, I believe, will help you become successful. But also realizing that everything and everybody matters. It's not about the money. Don't keep the money so close to your face, or the penny so close to your face that you. Is that how they say that you can't see the dollars or
Correct.
something? Realize that everything you do and every person that you're in connection with, you're going to be a blessing to, or not.
It's a matter of choice.
And the goal is to be a blessing to the people that you work with.
So you would say success then is about connecting with people,
exactly.
And keeping it real, not worried about the money, because in time, through that connection, it'll come.
It'll come. And I have been told, I've been to functions where people say, oh, I hear people say in direct sales, you shouldn't worry about money, the product sells itself. And then they counteract that. This is what I found in my 8 years in doing what I do, that when I put the people first, the money came. And I've learned that philosophy from my parents, but I love the fact that Mary Kay had that philosophy. So,
how has, over the 8 years, and I'm not that familiar with Mary Kay, but over the 8 years, how has the industry changed, and how has Mary Kay kept pace with the industry change?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Industry, I will tell you, I was in Mary Kay back in the 80s at first, so I'm going to tell you how it's changed since then. First of all, technology, of course, but they have so much more for all different types of people and skin colors, ethnicities. That's one of the biggest things I've seen. Also, they really keep up with the latest technology trends. We have what we call within my group, we're doing a selfie contest now, They have us on Twitter. We have our own fan pages. Each independent consultant can have their own fan page. They have us in several magazines, you know, Cosmopolitan, O Magazine, all those different places, all those different things. So they've really kept up in that way. I also believe what I love about them is they've kept up as far as, how can I say it, giving to the sales force. I've been in these 8 years, we have increased our car, you know, the cars that they give. The gifts they give us are wonderful. The bonuses they give us are wonderful, you know. So they really believe in supporting the sales staff.
So if someone was going to get involved with Mary Kay, would you advise that they go part-time or full-time? How does that work?
I think it's up to them. The majority of people who do what I do are doing it part-time because they have another job. I did. I had 2 other jobs when I came back to this because I had just divorced, you know. So I think it's an individual decision. When I was back in the 80s, I did it part-time, and then I replaced my full-time income and decided to do it full-time. So it's completely individual. I would say though, if you're working a regular job and your income, you know, you're doing your budget and you have not built a customer base, don't just quit your full-time job. Build your Mary Kay business.
You mentioned something very interesting, and I want to expand on that just for the audience's sake, because so many times people get excited that they have a new business or a new venture that they're in, and they want to go put 100% into it. But they have to be realistic, I think, too. Talk to me about budgeting. How did that transition take place between moving from part-time to full-time and the considerations you had?
Well, what I did, first of all, I listened to everything that my national sales director said. I love her. Her name's Johnette Sheely. I love her. I had to give her that shout out because she taught me everything about this business. And you know, what I did was I listened to what she said, and she said, Senora, you know, Mary Kay's like a smorgasbord. You can do, you know, you can take a little bit here and a little bit there, or you can do all of it. And I chose to do all of it, which was sell and also build an organization of women and help them get what I get. So when I did that together, it helped me to replace that income that I needed and not have to work for somebody else.
How long of a transition was that?
From
part-time to full-time?
From part-time to full-time. For me,
yes, for you,
it was 18 months. But for some people, it can be 4 months. Some people, it can be 2 months. But for me, it was 18 months. And I think that's the beauty of what I think that's the beauty of what I do, because I had a friend, I wanted to be a director. I knew I wanted to be a director right away. I had a friend that's been in Mary Kay for 20 years before she decided to be a director. You know?
Excellent. So here's the selfless pitch time. So if you have something that's coming up or an event or something that you'd like to let the audience know about, now's the time.
Okay. Looking at you.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I would just like them to, you know, I have classes all week long, basically, but on Saturdays I usually do my pampering sessions on Saturdays at 10, 1, and 4.
Okay.
And I usually do them at my home. So if they give me a call, I can leave you my website information, and then I can get with them. And I also meet with people individually. Many times people feel that they need to have parties and have friends together. There are some people that are shy and they don't want to do that. So I can meet them individually. Is that good?
Senora, yes, that's excellent. I want to thank you for being here today. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day and helping us understand a little more, not only about your business, but about Mary Kay as well. This is Dave Wright from the Business Lounge, where we talk to real people, real business, real success. Until the next time, adios.